Okay, so after you have your facial features drawn, what I want you to do first is start erasing the lines, those guidelines that we no longer need. After I've given you the okay, I've got this eraser from the second drawer. We want to try to save our pencil erasers for very small things like inside the eyes, because we might need those for that. Remember, I didn't want you to color in your eyebrows. We are probably going to start doing that today. Erase these lines as best as you can, because we really don't want them there later. Okay. And also no eyelashes, remember. So here's my hair. This is what I did on the video. I'm gonna draw a little darker so you can see it, but remember, when you draw, please draw very, very, very light. My hair I usually tuck behind my right ear, so that means my part is on this side and my hair swoops and goes right behind my right ear. Usually it doesn't go over my eyebrow, but that's how I drew it, I guess. On the other side, it kind of just comes down straight. Can you see those lines better than before? Okay.
Yeah.
So there's the outline of my hair. I have to go and erase anything that is not going to be showing because of that hair, which basically means I'm erasing the whole side of this face because it's covered in hair, that eyebrow that's covered in hair, and the shoulder. And part of this eyebrow, it looks like. Now there is still hair back in this space, and this space, it's gonna be really dark because it's in a shadow. The next thing you need to think about is on that value scale, what darkness is your hair gonna be? My hair is brown, light brown. So on my value scale, here or here is a pretty good value for my hair. You also need to think about the texture of your hair. So texture can be, like if you have short hair, for example, texture is going to be shorter lines like this. If you have long hair, you're going to have longer lines, aren't you? If you have curly hair, you might have texture like this. Now when we get to doing our eyebrows, that's really, really, really tiny short hairs, isn't it? So when you do your eyebrows, you might just see tiny, tiny, tiny little lines like this. See that? Okay, so boys, when you're doing the texture of your hair, you're drawing it the direction it's growing, okay? So if you've parted your hair to the side, like me here, that means I'm starting from the part and drawing my lines. I can help get you started if you're not sure. So like on this self-portrait, my hair's fairly straight today, so I'm gonna draw from my part, coming out, fairly long, and I'm not going to do very many right now because I've got to do my shading as well. Okay, I can go back and add some more. So now I'm going to take my pencil and I want to color just how I did on my value scale, about somewhere between here and here. So I'm taking my pencil and I'm still, again, drawing kind of in that direction of that hair, lightly. I don't want to get it on my ear. behind my neck here, that is going to be a darker value. That's going to be like the darkest, like a 5. So I'm coloring that in fairly dark. Okay, see that? The rest of it is all pretty light, so I'm still coloring it in lightly. I'm trying to color in the same direction for the most part, in case I see some of these pencil lines after I blend, so it doesn't look like my hair is growing sideways. I have an extra box of tissues on that back countertop there. If you get out of the lines like I did right here, just erase that before you blend. Then you take your tissue. Let me zoom in a little bit again for this part so you can see. So I'm taking my tissue, and I want to blend this so that hopefully I don't see a lot of lines. See how you can still see my darker texture lines showing through? So I'm going to carefully blend this all over, trying not to get it on my face or on my ears, because you're just going to have to erase that then. Now if you get done doing this and you're like, my hair's really actually darker than that, then add a little bit more on top. Okay, you can always add more, but it's really hard to erase. So you can always make your hair look darker by lightly adding some more. And actually for my hair, since my hair right now is darker at the top, maybe I do add a little bit darker values at the top. Blend that. Okay, then if you feel like you need to add more texture back again on top of that, take a nice sharp pencil. Okay, I'm showing my shorter hair right here getting tucked behind the ear. Then I'm showing my long hair, my long straight hair coming out of my part. Here's an example of curly hair, right? And I think when I did this one, I had a barrette, so I had pulled it back like this. See these lines right here? That's what happens when you draw too dark and you can't erase those guidelines. They show through, okay? So that's why I'm working with you to draw light. Now my eyebrows, do you see my eyebrows on this one? We're gonna do that next, okay? So all I'm doing here is I have a super sharp pencil, right? My eyebrows are usually about the same value as your hair. So I'm coloring them in. Sometimes your eyebrows are actually a little bit darker even. Okay, now I'm going to take my tissue, blend. Okay, take your eraser, because we don't want it blended all around. We just want it on your actual eyebrow, right? Then I take my pencil nice and sharp, and I'm adding little short hairs growing in the direction I'm looking in my mirror. They usually grow up at the front and then they start going sideways. Just short little curvy lines. Okay. So that's what I want you to work on today.